guys, this is Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm, and this segment is called Craft Brew News, where we bring you the latest news in the beer world, craft beer world. It's a Friday. Happy Friday. So let's get to it. The first story is with the government reopened, TTB begins processing backlog of beer labels. TTB is the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. A lot of brewers rely on it to approve labels. I mean, they can't sell products interstate, sometimes interstate within the state, without getting the TTB approval of the labels. So it's a big deal for a lot of breweries, and it's affected a lot of breweries. Also, you can't even get your license approved if they're closed. You can't even do anything. You're frozen. So hundreds of TTB employees returned to work on Monday following a 35-day government shutdown. The brought beer label approvals and other alcohol beverage enforcement activities to a standstill. Last Friday, President Donald Trump signed a continuing resolution that ended the longest government shutdown in U.S. history and temporarily funded the federal government through February 15th. Now with the threat of another shutdown looming, TTB workers are tasked with processing a backlog of nearly 10,000 alcohol beverage label approval requests that have already been submitted this year. So that's 10,000 new beers that are coming your way. TTB approved 192,000 alcohol beverage labels, including approximately 34,000 beer labels in 2018, according to the Washington Post. During the 35-day shutdown, a number of small craft brewery owners were stuck waiting for beer label approvals that couldn't be processed, delaying new beer releases and causing financial setbacks. Meanwhile, in Oregon, Deschutes Brewery President Michael Lalonde told the Bend Bulletin that 8% of the company's business was at risk as it awaited approval for 6 beer labels and a cider permit. It's having a huge impact on the business and the potentiality of the economy of Oregon itself, he told the outlet. So it's good news. TTB's reopened, and hopefully these guys in Washington can figure it out and just move past all this and keep the government open. I mean, we pay a lot of money, and these guys, the brewers, shouldn't be, penalized because people can't get their acts in order. Should, instead of freezing TTB salaries, they should freeze some of these congressmen's salaries and senators. That'll get them moving pretty quick, right? Okay, next story. Green Flash Brewing rebrands and re-releases original West Coast IPA. We heard about Green Flash and the troubles that they've been gone through, but I'm glad they're coming back. So Green Flash Brewing today unveiled a new logo and rebranded packages and a reformulated version of its West Coast IPA flagship. I hope they keep the beer the same. The beer is delicious. It says reformulated. We'll see. I have to try some. Also, get out there. If you haven't had Green Flash beer, it's excellent. Get out and try some. Grab a bottle. Grab some cans. Well, now they're moving into cans, as we can see. The move comes about 8 months after the San Diego-based craft brewery named former Anheuser-Busch executive Michael Taylor as its new CEO. So they're serious. Following months of financial turmoil and eventual foreclosure sale of the holding company, the redesigned packages feature custom artwork illustrated by Matthew J. Fleming, whose illustrations depict the vibrant San Diego lifestyle. Our new visual identity represents a dramatic shift from the Green Flash brand and reinforces the origin of one of the original San Diego craft beers. Ben Widzeth, the company's vice president of marketing, said via press release. In addition, the new package design, the company also relaunched its West Coast IPA flagship with the original recipe. In mid-2014, the company raised the ABV of the West Coast IPA from 7% to 8.1%. In response to all the double IPAs out there, just jack up that ABV. Widseth said, over the years, we have been listening to our loyal drinkers who reminisced about the original recipe. So we are excited to bring it back for them to enjoy, along with a portfolio of other fan favorites and new beer releases to come. In addition to the original West Coast IPA, Green Flash's core portfolio now includes Soul Style IPA, GFB Blonde Ale, and Tropical DNA, a hazy IPA. In 2018, amid ongoing financial troubles, Green Flash was forced to close 2 production facilities, lay off 76 employees, and pull distribution from 42 states. So it's going to be interesting to see what Green Flash does again. Do they stay local? Do they stay in the San Diego area and California, or they just blow it out again and go nationwide? It'll be interesting to see what happens with Green Flash, but I'm glad they're back. The reformulated means original recipe, which is awesome. We'll see how the beer is. It remains to be seen, but I think that's positive. Asahi to buy Fuller's beer and cider business. I lived in England for about 5 years. Fuller's beer is excellent. Fuller Ale, Badger Ales. If you guys are around, you want to be on the podcast, I want to get you on the podcast. Email me, michael@craftbeerstorm.com, and let's do it. Or get me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Let's do it. Tokyo-based Asahi Group Holdings today announced a $327 million deal to acquire the beer and cider business of London-based Fuller Smith Turner. I think that's cheap. They're all over the place, and they have really excellent beer. Financial deals were not disclosed, and the transaction is expected to close in the first half of 2019. According to the BBC, Fuller's will now focus on its pub and hotel business, which accounts for about 87% of the company's profits. Obviously, right? We want to focus on getting beer to the consumer, draw them into our locations, and that's the highest profit margin. So there you go. The press release announcing the deal, Asahi said it would supply beer to Fuller's more than 380 pubs, hotels in London and in the south of England. I didn't realize they had so much property. But that's smart. They sell it on premise. It's awesome. The deal secures the future of both part of our business, including protecting the heritage of the Griffin Brewery in Chiswick, which was particularly important to the Fuller's board. Fuller's chief executive Simon Emini told the BBC. As part of the deal, Asahi will acquire Fuller's beer and cider brands, such as London Pride, Frontier Lager, and Cornish Orchards Cider. Asahi will receive the right to use Fuller's trademarks, although the UK company will maintain ownership of the brand name. That's interesting. Asahi will also take control of Fuller's Griffin Brewery in London, where the company was founded in 1845. Now, Asahi, what are they about? Fuller's offerings join an Asahi portfolio that includes previously acquired brands such as Peroni and Pilsner Urquell, who were both purchased in 2016. So they're moving. Asahi, Peroni, and Pilsner Urquell are widely distributed, and they have huge sales. So you'll probably see Fuller's a lot more in your stores going forward. We'll see what happens with that. Interesting. Last story, Goose Island Brewmaster departs. I guess the U.S. Goose Island Brewmaster Jared Jankowski is leaving the Chicago-based and Anheuser-Busch-owned craft brewery for Madison, Wisconsin-based craft brewery Octopi Brewing, according to the Chicago Tribune. Goose Island has yet to identify a replacement. Jankowski told the Tribune that his decision to depart Goose Island after 7 years was a personal one, noting that he was not really a city person. He joins the 3-year-old Octopi Brewing as brewmaster and will help the company through a $10 million expansion project that will increase the capacity from 40,000 barrels to 100,000 barrels. So he's leaving Goose Island to join a smaller brewery, and they're going to more than double their capacity. So it's an interesting project for Jared. We interviewed Goose Island brewmaster in Shanghai on a previous episode. So you should check that out. Go on iTunes. You can see the episode there. It has some excellent information in the culture in China, beer culture. So it was very, very good. So that's our craft brew news for the week. We do on Mondays, we interview a brewer or a founder or an influencer in the craft beer world, and we bring that to you. On Wednesdays, we have beer style. So we go down the GABF list of beers, and we just explain the particular style. There's more than just IPAs and lagers, guys. There's a lot more beer out there. It's 102 different categories and then subcategories. So check that out on Wednesdays. And we have the brew news for you on Friday. So that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. And if you like what we're doing, you like our podcast, please go on to iTunes and give us a rating, a review, subscribe, tell a friend, tell 10 friends. I will be at the Grant Cardone conference in Miami today. It's for the weekend. It's excellent stuff, and we're going to 10x stuff. So if you're there, shoot me an email. Hey, let's connect. That'd be awesome. But that's all I have for today, and I wish you guys the best, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Take care.